In this series of short videos, we're going to take a look at obtaining data and manipulating it in order to do analysis regarding our student performance. And we'll be looking at both Performance Tracker and using Excel. The emphasis is going to be primarily on the analysis of the data, but of course we'll look at Performance Tracker to obtain the data. So we begin by opening up Performance Tracker. The link to Performance Plus is on your teacher homepage under the links area. So we'll fire up Performance Plus and log in. And of course, to obtain data, we'll want to run reports. So we begin by clicking on the report icon. And let me just set the scenario. Let's assume I'm a 7th grade language arts teacher, and I want to take a look at my students' performance on their PSSAs in their 6th grade year. So what I will do is begin by clicking on the Reports tab, Performance Tracker, and I want to begin by looking at my student assessment scores. So I'll select the report that I want to run and set the filters. I'll begin by choosing the particular assessment. So I'll set the year for the previous year. I'm a 7th grade teacher, but looking at my students' 6th grade PSSA scores. So I'll set the year to 2011-2012 only. My subject will be reading and writing. Here's a hint. If you select reading only in language arts, sometimes the PSSA scores will not show up. So be sure to select reading and writing. I'll choose my grade range as 6th grade because the students were in 6th grade when they took the PSSAs in the spring of 2012. And now I'll select the test that I want to look at, the PSSA. Here's the tricky part. It seems as though I've selected the assessment, but I haven't completed the selection yet. I need to click on the Show Assessments button and actually check on the assessments I want to look at. I've got the regular PSSA and the modified, so I will check both of them. Now, if I wanted to select anything more specific, a specific anchor, I could click on the plus sign here to open up a listing of specific anchor areas and check in a box to look at data for those specific areas. But in this case, I want to look at all the data that's available. My next step is to set a filter for teachers and classes. Now, sometimes Performance Plus can get a little tricky here. If you see this particular window pop up, you may actually have to log out of Performance Plus and relog back in order to make the next step. Now, here's the screen that I need to access in order to select a specific teacher or classes. I want to set the year as the current year, my subject area as General Language Arts to cover reading and writing. Of course, the grade range, because I'm a 7th grade teacher, will be 7th grade. Now, I could click on this drop-down arrow and choose the specific classes, a specific teacher, my own name, to look only at my own students. I could click on the Show Classes button to again get a listing of checkboxes and choose specific teachers for specific classes. But in this case, I'm going to simply run the report and get all the information for all the 7th grade students. So we'll run the report to get the PSSA data for this year's current 7th grade students. And here's our data. Now notice I got data from two different tests, the regular PSSA, over here is the regular PSSA, and the modified PSSA. I can do some sorting of this information within Performance Plus simply by using the up and down arrows at the top of a column. If I want to sort things, I could sort them by clicking the up arrow, and what I've done now is I've sorted only the levels in the PSSA test. So I scroll down the screen to say I've sorted things from below basic all the way up to advanced level. but notice I only sorted the items for the regular PSSA test. I did not sort the items for the modified test. Also, notice that I sorted only according to level. The numerical scores are not in numerical order. If I want to see the numerical scores in order, I can click on the up or down arrows to sort them in ascending or descending order. So now I've got my data sorted for the regular PSSA in numerical order from lowest to highest score. I could do the same for the modified PSSAs using the up and down arrows here. If I wanted to do additional manipulation of the data, the best thing to do would be to use Excel. So in order to export to Excel, you could simply click the icon at the top of the page, and you'll export this particular report to an Excel file. I see the link has changed to download the Excel file, so I'll click on that and open it up.